What's up, guys? It's Quincy here to bring you Fairy Tail Chapter 330 review. Alright, so the key points in this chapter are pretty much Natsu and Future Rogue, the stuff with the guilds, Fairy Tail, Sabretooth, and Blue Pegasus, goes back to Natsu and Rogue, and then the ending with Zilliconus. So, let's get this review started, guys. Alright, so pretty much Future Rogue just tells Natsu it's futile to resist. You can't win. Humans can't beat dragons. And then Natsu says, well, that's what it takes and I give up being human. Pretty much Natsu saying, you can beat anyone with the power of friendship. Pretty much. That's pretty much what he's saying there. So I was like, okay, whatever, alright. And then Future Rogue then commands Mother Greya, the dragon they're both on, to shoot down eggs to the city. And these eggs hatch, right? And inside these eggs are little dragon humanoid creatures. And this right here, this reminded me of the scene from Godzilla 2000 where Godzilla laid all those eggs in Madison Square Garden. And then all those little Godzillas came out of nowhere. Exactly like that. Alright? So, this first key point, it gets a good because of the Godzilla reference. I'm not sure if Hiro Mashima was going for that, but that's what he got for me. So, it gets a good. Anyways, go to the next part with all the guilds. So far, then, the eggs are hatching. The eggs are hatching so far. Kana says, we were having so much trouble with one dragon, now we have to deal with all these guys. And then, here comes Laxus, who comes out of nowhere, and he says, move out of my way, and smacks the crap out of Atlas Hellflame Dragon. And he's pretty much saying, I got this dragon, you guys go take care of the monsters, I'll handle this, alright? I'll handle this dragon. And in my mind, I'm just thinking, thank God Natsu isn't fighting this dragon. Because if Natsu was fighting this dragon, Natsu would end up getting another power boost. Because this dragon is purely flames. So anyways, back to the review. Brickslow and Freed say we will help out Laxus. And then everyone else pretty much attacks the humanoid dragon creatures. Alright, so it gets a good again. And then we take it to Sabretooth. And Sting and Rogue are fighting the dragon. Sting tells Rogue to go to another place, to go help out another guild that doesn't have a dragon slayer. Rogue says alright. And then Sting, here's where the chapter got bad a little bit. Actually, not a little bit, a lot of it. Sting gives a little Nakama speech. He says, Natsu's speech gave me courage. Courage not to fight, but to protect my comrades. And that instant, Sting just gained a lot more fangirls and fanboys who were strictly fairy tards. Well, not fairy tards, but like strictly into Nakama, the Nakama sense in Fairy Tail. Sting just gained a lot of fans by saying that. And personally, I don't like it. I love the cocky Sting. If Sting after this were to remain cocky, but care for his friends in a strange way, I'd like that. I would approve of that highly. I would highly approve of that. Anyways, back to review again. Sorry for getting off topic. Rogue is seen going to another guild. He says the days of the unjust Sabretooth comes to an end, and it's time for us to move forward. So, you know what? I'm already okay with Rogue being pro Nakama, but Sting, not so much. So, it was good. until the Sting Nakama speech. So it drops it down to a bad. Drops it down to a bad. Then we're taking to Blue Pegasus, and Ren and Hibiki are complaining that they don't have a Dragon's Lair. And then, we get fan service from Ginny saying our sexy appeal clearly isn't working. And then here comes Ichiya. And pretty much Ichiya says, stand back, I have a special perfume, or parfume, I'm going to use against this dragon. So he pulls it out, and then the fumes go over to that rock dragon. And then Ichiya says, this is a parfume derived from my armpits. And, if Ichiya smells how he looks, then his armpits must smell quite a bit. I'm just gonna say that right now. But anyways, the rock dragon then says, it's true that dragons have a keen sense of smell, but here's the kicker, I don't have a nose. The face Ichiya makes is just hilarious, I like Ichiya, he's a good comic relief character. But he can be really powerful when he needs to be. And then, woohoo, oh boy. Ooh boy, this next part. Whew, I'm still hearing it, guys. I'm still hearing it. You can still hear it too, right? I mean, you can still hear that music playing. Dokuryu no Cobra. I can still hear it clearly in my head. Cobra comes out of nowhere. Pretty much nowhere. And it looks like he either smashes the ground in front of Blue Pegasus, or pretty much smacks the dragon and then all the rocks on the dragon smash into the air. So either way, he made a badass entrance. He pretty much came in and said, fuck this talking, I'm getting to work. And what does he do? He smashes some rocks. Either the dragon or the sidewalk they're on or whatever. Or the street that they're on. Pretty much. And then Blue Pegasus saying, who is this guy? And Hibiki says he remembers, because he was a part of Team Light, saying, it's Cobra from Erasing on Seas, the Poison Dragon Slayer. So, alright, Cobra and, Ichiya are saving what that second part of the second key point has done wrong, Then we're taken to Lahar and John Bolt. And my prediction for this part, it came true. Pretty much Lahar says, whoever thought we would have to take advice from Jalal. So, I'm happy about that. My prediction came true. So, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy about that. And then John Bolt says we might get stripped from our positions after this is all said and done. And Lahar pretty much tells John Bolt, don't worry about it. We need something to protect or something like that after this is all said and done. Like, we pretty much need a future to go to. So we have to make sure we stop these dragons. And then they both go onto the battlefield, hopefully, So, overall, this key point, it got a good from Laxus, a bad from Sting's speech, and a really good from Cobra and Ichiya. So overall, a good key point. It's a good part. So back to Natsu and Future Rogue. Natsu pretty much says they're all working so hard down there. If we all work together, there's nothing we can do. Pretty much Nakama, 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 Nakama. Power friendship, Nakama, Nakama, power up, power friendship, Nakama, Nakama, Nakama. That's pretty much it. So, fuck you, Natsu. I personally didn't like this. Should have said this in the beginning and could have had more scenes from from the actual fight. But whatever. I'm gonna give it an alright. Because Future Rogue looked like a badass, pretty much. Go to the last part. Zilliconis, Princess Wendy, Mary Jane, Lucy. Pretty much, here's what happens in this part, guys. Wendy tried to talk to Zilliconis, saying, "You don't remember us, do you?" And then, no, he doesn't, because the Zilliconis you talked to was the already dead Zilliconis. And then Charlotte tells Wendy, "You're the only Dragon Slayer here, and according to Natsu, you're gonna have to fight this dragon." And all this time, Zilliconis is thinking. And then the first thing he says is, "I know, I'm going to eat all of you. I'm going to devour all of you." So, I'm like, okay, we're gonna get some bloodshed here, hopefully, you know. And then here comes Zilliconis. He fires off his dragon roar, and he takes out this huge bunch of guards, and I'm just like, okay, alright. Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, I like that, you know, just go in there, just mess stuff up, you know, good job, Zilliconis. And then the smoke clears. And what do we see? We see every council guard butt-ass naked. They're butt naked, guys. Oh my gosh. Hiro Mashima just exposed Wendy to penis. That's pretty much what he did. He gave Wendy her first sight of the male reproductive organ. Because Wendy, Mary Jane, Lucy, and Yukino's faces were just like, what the hell's going on? So yeah, Hiro Mashima, you pretty much just exposed the male reproductive organ to a 12-year-old. So congratulations. Then the council guards run away. Cardius checks on the princess, and then the priest that's with the princess gets stripped of his clothing as well. So I'm just like, okay, he's just gonna strip everyone of their clothing. That's a terrible magic, Zilliconis. Or pretty much, I'm gonna call Zilliconis Hiro Mashima. Hiro Mashima pretty much is the perverted dragon slayer, if you must. That's pretty much it right there. So let's continue. Zilliconis says, you know what? Humans taste bad, that's why I got rid of their clothes. Then again, men also taste bad, so you know what? I'm just gonna eat the women. And Lucy's laying on the ground like, what the hell's going on here? And when he looks up, Zilliconis looks down. Zilliconis says, my magic, it pretty much takes everyone's dignity away. I guess their dignity is their clothing. Then he puffs a little dragon magic at Lucy, and then boom, all of Lucy's clothes are gone. And I'm just having a really hard time with this, because how many times in this arc, or actually in this series, are we either going to see Lucy's clothes torn off, blown off, ripped off, taken off, all that stuff right there? I mean, I would have been perfectly fine if it was, you know, Urza, Mary Jane, Kana, Ginny, Minerva, Kagura. No, someone new. Someone new. You guys know what I'm saying. Someone new. It's always Lucy. So, nah, whatever. Forget about it, guys, you know. And here, you know, Wendy, the last thing in the chapter says, well, my magic is the magic that's gonna crush you. And that's where the chapter ends. So, from Zilliconis, from the start of Key Point 4 to where Zilliconis fired his dragon roar was a good, only because I thought he was killing every guard there. But everything after that, when he stripped everyone of their clothing, it was just like, what the fuck? So it gets a bad. That part gets a bad. It gets a bad. I mean, yeah, it just plain out gets a bad. Alright guys, I'm just gonna jump into the basic fact. Kinda weird after that last part in the chapter, jumping into the basic fact. Badassness. It was a decent badass chapter. I mean, Laxus doing work, Cobra doing work, Sting's Holy Ray attack doing work. It gets a 6 on my scale. Attention level. Last week's chapter, we had Cobra, so I was really looking forward to this chapter. I was pretty hooked to this chapter. I'm not gonna lie, I was really hooked to this chapter. I was so hooked to the point where I was expecting to see a cameo from Rave Master. That's how hooked I was to this chapter. So about an 8. Satisfaction, about a 5. It was half and half for me, pretty much. Interest level, highly interested. So I want to see Laxus versus Atlas, and Cobra versus the Rock Dragon. So, and of course Sting versus Stardust. So, I'm really interested in this. Comedy level, comedy was about at a 9. For the Ichiya stuff, that was highly comedic to me. I was laughing so hard because perfume derived from his armpits. I don't know why I was laughing. I guess it's because when I read it, it was pretty late at night. So, alright guys, it gets a 9. Fan service. There's a lot of Lucy fanboys out there only because pretty much Lucy gets naked almost every chapter. But anyways, fan service, about an 8, pretty much. Just because of Lucy being butt-ass naked. Animation, the drawings were fairly well done. Every drawing in this every panel was drawn out pretty well. There could have been more detail on when the eggs were hatching, but about a 7. Predictability. Well, I couldn't predict Zilliconis' magic. Predictability is about a 4 or 5. And the overall chapter rating out of 5 is 2.5 or 3. 2.5 or 3 out of 5. So overall, it was a good chapter of Fairy Tail. I could have done without the stuff at the end and the Nakama speech from Sting. I could have done without that, but it's there. Can't change it. I will say one thing though: if Hiro Mashima makes Zilliconis use his magic on Wendy, and we actually do get a panel of Wendy being butt-ass naked, I'm not gonna review that chapter, and I'm gonna go punch a wall. Just saying. But if Zilliconis uses her magic on Wendy, and then Wendy gets immediately covered up by something, like a box, and she exits the box with like brand new clothing, I'll be okay with that. Because we do not need to see child pornography here. Alright? We do not need to see that. I know Wendy has a lot of fanboys. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves if you want to see that. Anyways, this is a Quincy. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out the links down below, the good stuff. And yeah, that's my chapter review. I'll catch you guys later. Adios, otakus.